What's going on, guys? This is Jason of Auglitical. I swim through the politics and jump and dive throughout the relationships so you don't drown too. As always, I am just the man just trying to bring common sense in a world where common sense isn't so common. I think that it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy in this day and age. You could be the most soyest, wokest, broke back boy and do all of the things that you're told to do by these screeching harpies and still get the short end of the stick. So, apparently, recently, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez has announced that she's freezing her eggs. Now, I just find that hilarious to me because of all the people that's out there, this should have been something that was done in the beginning. Instead, she waited. She waited. Now, mind you, this was the woman that was preaching to people not to have children. And of course, this is the whole ideology of Marxism or socialism, where they want you to own nothing but be happy about it. They want you not to have children. They want to work you to death with a smile on your face. What's the saying that they go? You will own nothing and thank them for it or be happy about it. It's something like that. She didn't believe in that previously. She doesn't believe in a lot of the shit that she claims because she's one of those people who she's going to use, again, the whole woke ideology of white men are evil, and which is ultimately, it's really men are evil because Marxism doesn't care. Communism, socialism, all of that shit together does not care about what tools they need to destroy the foundation, the walls that hold the building up that is order that we have in the United States. So they're willing to say a bunch of things. Whenever I hear someone, a woman, sit there, she starts talking about capitalism being the root of the problems in the world, and you also know she's a misandrist and all. It's like, yep, there it is. It got you. It got the claws in you. We already know everything that you're spouting is the shit that you're just regurgitating bullshit that you have been told because you're indoctrinated, and anything out of your mouth should not even be listened to. Anyway, I just find it funny, like I said, for you to do all of the right steps, be picked up by Miss Woke herself, the figurehead for all of the things that is wrong in America. I'm not saying she's the straight cause of all the things wrong in America, because that's never the case. But if you was to ever get a poster girl or a figurehead, she's literally that, right? Her whole entire identity is fake. But it was propped up again, because like I said, they will use any tool to bang against that wall to destroy the foundation of what we have, right? So AOC is an actor, but now she's gotten used and comfortable to what she believes in. At this point, I would believe so. Anyway, let's listen to what's happening with AOC. Like I said, she just froze her eggs. Apparently, she is really, really mad at her ex fiance. Oh shit, did I mention that? Her and her ex fiance just broke up, apparently, and she's going on rants about it, and I just think that is crazy and unbecoming. I think it's crazy but hilarious.
So, Riley, what has been helpful to you in combating racism?
I think it's helpful and important to talk to other white people about racism. And I think a lot of people, they don't want to be racist. They don't think that they're racist, but they also don't know some of the things that they believe or say are and can be racist.
That's absolutely true. Here's the deal: it is not your job to go out there. What type of fucking annoying mosquito are you to go around and you got to consistently hold things over people's head? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Yes, there are some Black Americans or Africans or Caribbeans or whatever the fuck it is, or just assholes out there that they consistently want white people or white adjacents or whoever's glazing white people to always grovel at their fucking feet for what happened in the past. I think that that's shitty. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that the shit did not happen in the past. But if you are just a white person who has not done anything to nobody, you should be allowed to live your fucking life. You're not being racist. You're not adding to the fucking problem. You're just existing. People existing should be just fine. And if you don't know that you just did some violative shit that came off as racist, right? You get checked about it, and that's the end of the day. That should be the end of it. If you now, on the other hand, you have a lot of racist whites out there who they push the envelope because they think that that shit is funny. I always found it funny to myself when the same people who will sit there and be like, oh, that happened 400 years ago and you should just get over it. These are the same fucking people, right? That whenever there's a crime that happens with a person who's not the same skin tone as them, right? Or even the same skin tone as them, it's all of them. This is what they do. They remind us real quick, oh, yeah, you guys, 13% of the population commit 99,000% of the crime. It's like it's tiring, right? You can't sit there and expect the shit that you want people to do when you're not willing to do it, right? So that's my stance on it. I just think it's fucking crazy, right? If the guy just exists, you should just be happy that she tried to break this fucking dude. And which is funny because if you look at his initial pictures, the dude wasn't much to break in the first place. And she just wanted to break this dude. Was the communist titties worth it? I know they were big titties, but were they worth it?
And I think one of the like effective ways is just to talk and kind of help teach them about why some of the things they believe or say or think are wrong. Not necessarily racist, but that they're wrong. And that'll sort of like chip away. And
so you're trying to stop people not because. So let me get this straight. So AOC's whipping this fucking guy. And it's not even that it's racist, it's that it's wrong. Do you know what it's like to walk on eggshells 24 fucking 7? Like, you gotta hold your hand out to try to catch snowflakes that you know are gonna melt in your hand? That gotta be a miserable fucking existence. Right? And I know exactly what that's like because I've dated two I'm thinking of two girls, right, in my past, right? That there was absolutely nothing I could have done. I made her happy when I didn't expect it. I made her mad when I wasn't even trying to, when I was trying to be nice. And it just was like, man, I can't. I can't. And she wanted me to fight and talk about, oh, why are you giving up? I'm like, yo, because the problem is this is not even like, you'll sit there and try to say I'm not mature about it or whatever like that. That's not even the case. It's just like, I can't consistently be fighting with somebody that I'm supposed to be in a relationship with. I just don't have time for that. I just don't. I could only imagine. And mind you, girl was goth. So I was happy about that shit. But, I just find it crazy that this was a relationship. And mind you, they knew each other since I think college. Yeah. They knew each other since fucking college. And she was doing this shit to him.
Contribute to some development in this area, but not necessarily take somebody from like being a racist to not being a racist in one conversation.
And it's just always being open to learning about racist things that we may have said or done without judgment and defensiveness.
I think that it's crazy because AOC is literally an industry plant, right? She's literally a communist plant. And it's funny because if you heard the way that she talked, even now, you can tell she's not very intelligent. But now, if she keeps repeating the same fucking bullshit, at some point, some of it sticks, right? So now she's probably comfortable in her age of the bullshit that she's been, being fed, right? I find this crazy because, again, this guy was around you since college. He put up with all of your shit, all of it, all of it. He put up with you again. It's crazy to me.
Don't be weird about this, even though I know all of you will be. All right, everyone. Deco and I, day 1 of freezing my eggs.
What?
This, even though I know all of you will be. All right, everyone. Deco and I, day 1 of freezing my eggs. I'm diving into the process, and now I've got, let's see, all of this medicine here. I'm going to inject this first, but I got a pro tip from a friend because this injection kind of stings, it kind of burns a little bit. So a friend of mine told me that if you make the first injection first and let it sit while you're doing everything else, maybe it burns a little less. I don't know, but obviously I'm not doing this on live right now. Could you imagine? I didn't want to distract myself too much by being on live because I'm injecting myself with things. Maybe later, maybe if I become a pro at this, I'll do that.
Maybe if I become a pro at this. I think that this is cute. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show myself freezing my eggs. I
Maybe I should start an ASMR egg freeze.
Well, she's prepping herself to freeze her eggs. She's not. I don't think this is how you freeze your fucking eggs. I think that there's a process behind it.
Channel.
More than this, I'm damn sure.
I think they banned those on YouTube. So this is a powder. So I'm basically dissolving this powder. Oh, I prepare this. All right.
There's a part of me that feels like this should not be allowed to be watched on YouTube. Am I bugging? Am I fucking bugging?
Don't be weird about this, even though I know all of you will be. Okay. That wasn't so bad.
She now controls more money than most Democrats. AOC never had a child, never been married, never ran a business, never ran a home, never managed people, never had a professional job, never served on a local committee, no real life experience. I mean, first of all, this is none of anyone's business. Second of all, making a spectacle of it is just more pathetic and cringe virtue signaling. This is what I'm saying, right? Like, why would she be even doing this? By the way, I'm running for president. Oh my god, yeah. If there was ever a picture, yo, wouldn't it be funny if I upload this fucking video and YouTube takes this shit down? YouTube decides to take this down, but leaves that up on her channel. I think that would be hilarious. But this is the perfect fucking picture of running for president for America. Right here. Oh, well, what she's doing? Oh, she's freezing her eggs. It's just like, yeah, that about sums it up. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. Don't let your head be turned by big socialist titties.
My insurance does not cover 1 penny of this. It is 100% out of pocket. It doesn't go to my deductible, nothing. It covers.
Okay, are you going to try to say that this is healthcare now? Are they going to try to turn that into healthcare now? Is this the next thing that she's going to push for healthcare? I guarantee you, if it's not already on the chopping block of the thing, not the chopping block, but the table of things that they probably would want to do, the radical misandrists out there, right? I guarantee you, they're going to come forward to her talking about you need to push a bill that freezing your eggs is healthcare. Because they already did it or tried to do with abortion, right?
There's nothing. So there's 2 main sources of costs. So you don't just like pay one lump sum to the doctor. You pay for the medicine, and then you also pay your clinic and for the procedure. So there's 2 costs of it. Some places are very expensive. I'm going to a place in New York City that specifically designs options for women who don't have insurance covering it. And so my grand total personally for me all in is going to be probably between $8,000 to $9,000.
AOC, that's not that expensive. And I know that that's crazy for me to say that, but let me be very clear. AOC's income bracket is not the normal income bracket. $9,000 is absolutely nothing to AOC. Now, is $9,000 like fucking 9 cents to AOC? Probably not. But coming from the fact that she can go to the Met Gala and I need you to understand something, right? She's a politician, right? She works in Congress. She does the most that her job requires her to do is to sit there and listen to boring shit. This is no different than a person going, sorry to throw people under the bus, church, right? That's all it is. It's pretty much like church, right? Except her side and what she pushes is the sub side of what she pushes that really pushes what she wants. So the side that so basically, we already know a lot of people in Congress don't even understand the rules and the guides and all of that shit that they're signing. They don't even read a lot of the bills that they're passing, right? Let's be 100 here, right? Here's the deal. Her side tells her how to vote. And then her sub side tells her what she needs to do to shake things up to really pass what they want to vote, what they want. I don't understand why $9,000 is anything. Now, again, is $9,000 9 cents to AOC? No. It's probably like $9. It's probably like $9. It's probably like $9 when you factor in the fact. Do you really think AOC? It's hard for AOC to eat day by day. Do you think AOC's living in a low income area? Now, don't get me wrong. There have been some politicians and shit like this who have purposely scammed the system and lived in low income housing that could have went to somebody who's been struggling, not because they chose to, but because life has just dealt them a fucking bad hand. It happens to everyone. And you have people who have never needed or never knew what it was like to not have a roof over their fucking head or connections to make sure they never had a roof over their head, living in low income places through connections, right? So you know how some people, I don't know if you've ever been through this, it's called there's a lottery system with a lot of low income places where some people end up waiting 3 years, 4 years, sometimes even 5 years for a place. I know I won a lottery a while back and I signed up like a year and some change ahead. And it was like, oh, hey, do you want this place? And I was just like, damn, it's already too late. I could have been fucking in the street in a ditch, right? So AOC, miss any of us with that stupid shit, that how expensive it is when you're making, what is her salary? I know her salary is much more than, what's the average salary for a person in the United States, right? And on top of that, I'm pretty sure her boyfriend was making all right money. I don't know what the fuck he was, but they didn't need any money. She could have saved up that money easy. Like, I'm pretty sure if AOC needed to pull out $4,000 in a month, $40,000 in a month, she could do it easy. All that fucking not bribery, but all of that shit that the squad has been caught with over and over, funneling money, miss me.
The other piece of this is the actual clinic and procedure and your provider. And a lot of clinics actually don't require you to pay in a lump sum. I saved a long time for this. And so I'm just paying for it outright.
See, the first comment on the bottom, making $174,000 a year and needing years to save up $8,000 is the most accurate representation of socialist economics I have ever seen. Again, $8,000. She makes $174,000 a year, and this is not talking like we could hit the shit with taxes. She's still coming back with like 1400,000 at least, or 140,000 at least. So let's not play this stupid ass game here, right? So, mind you, she's been with this guy for what? Probably, I would say no less than 3 years, 4 years. Miss me with that.
After years of saving, but There are clinics that do offer kind of a payment plan for people who need to pursue this or want to pursue this and want financial options. I'm not here to advocate for any of that. That's a decision for you to make, but that's the different clinics will have different prices because their care model is different, and so some clinics will charge you $15,000 to $16,000. Others will charge less. And on top of this, because of our medical system is broken in the way that it is, because we neglect covering women's care and women's fertility care, there's also the option that I know people who have pursued this, who have frozen their eggs outside of the United States in places like Spain or Mexico. And some of you all have even talked about the fact that some of you all have frozen your eggs in places like Spain for $4,000 all in medication clinic. Oh, and on top of that, you have to pay to store your eggs too. And so I'd be paying about $1,200 a year to keep my eggs frozen after that. But some people, and so when it comes.
So just to be very clear here, didn't I say that there was going to be some bullshit that, oh, people don't care about women freezing their eggs? The medical care system for women's health, they don't care. Woman, you are paying to freeze your fucking eggs. You could have had children of all women, yo, dog, of all women, right? Of all women. You are one of the women that easily could have had children at this point. Maybe you didn't want to have children with that particular guy. Let's be real here, right? But if AOC wanted to have children, she would have had children by now. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. She would have had children by now. Her freezing her eggs is, again, I just find it funny. I find it hilarious, actually.
To cost, one thing that I want to say is that I know that those numbers for a lot of people can feel paralyzing, and just talking about money in general can be a very emotionally intense thing. Not long ago in my life, I was working as a waitress in downtown Manhattan, and that, like, the thought of that was so paralyzing.
I don't give a fuck. You literally make $174,000 a year. I don't care. Your bracket is way above the norm. You ain't the richest, but you damn sure you ain't even in the middle. You're good. You're good. Nobody, listen, AOC has been doing this shit for over 8 years by now? AOC has been in Congress for how long? How long has AOC been in Congress? How long has AOC been in Congress? I'm gonna assume 4 years. I'm gonna assume. So she's been in Congress for 7 years. 7 fucking years. You really think AOC was not able to scrounge up $8,000?
And then when you actually pair that with all of the horrible rhetoric that we as women are fed as a society about our fertility, etc., it's easy to feel frozen and like a failure, right? Like if I either can't afford this, or if I can't afford it, then I'm going to have a negative consequence. And I want to push back on that real quick. Number one, there is so much negative messaging that is directed towards women around our family choices. Period. Kind of no matter what choice you make, if you have kids, when you have kids, whatever, there's so much negativity. And it is designed to dysregulate women, to put us in a place of fear or insecurity so that we are making choices out of that place. We're not doing that. All of these men, oftentimes, who are saying, oh, if you haven't had a kid by 30, like, you're done. it's just not supported. Don't trust these people who are writing abortion laws that don't even understand the first thing about a woman's body, tell you about how many eggs you have at what age. They don't even understand about egg health or anything.
I love how it all wrapped up at the end. I really do. I really do. Girl power. Girl power. Listening to this women is going to make you women miserable. Listening to this type of women is going to make you miserable. But they do get these women at an early age. They indoctrinate them in the schools. They indoctrinate them, especially in the colleges, in their female groups, with whatever podcast that they're listening to. It is a pipeline. Again, it is crazy the amount of women, especially young women, that whenever they have a problem and they start talking and you think that you don't think they're cooking, right? The shit is on fire, right? The kitchen is on fire, right? They're not cooking, but they think that they're cooking. And to me, it always turns into something where it's like, oh, you're spewing un-American communist bullshit. Feminism, communism. Feminism, communism, right? Once you start spouting about capitalism, communism, that's how I look at it. That's just how I look at it at this point, right? And I just sit there. It's like it's crazy because this is like the 5th time like this month that I'll be listening to a woman talk, and I'll just be listening just for the sake of listening, right? And they'll be talking, and I'm like, maybe I could agree with this. I need to listen a little bit longer. And then at some point, they'll bring up, right, that it's just capitalism. And I'm just like, yo, bro, you are talking about one thing, and you bring in capitalism. Did your brain was there no more space on the hard drive? Like, what just happened there? You were making a point about something, about why you feel a certain way about something, then you bring it into capitalism. Capitalism is the reason for why you're even able to access these type of things the way you do. What was it about? Oh, do you guys remember one of the things that threw me off for a loop? Remember the woman that was crying because HP, the ink, the printer company, they were
someone who doesn't
the printer company, they were forcing people that if you connect to the internet, you had to use their signature ink, which costs like $200 or some shit like this. And it was a woman using off-brand ink for like $40. And she was really, really upset about it, which is reasonable. In fact, HP deserves its ass beat. And you can look at my videos. That's exactly what I titled the videos, that HP deserves to get its ass beat. I'm a little bit sick here. But the crazy thing is, she starts talking about fucking capitalism as the reason why that's a problem. And it's like, you don't understand, lady, under what you're pushing, because we know exactly what you're trying to say here. Like, I know exactly what she's trying to say. She's saying if we was living under communism or socialism, things would be so much better because it wouldn't be, which is ironic, right? Because they would rather the government regulate shit. Big Daddy. This is something that a lot of women that have destroyed the West, they want Big Daddy. That's just the way that it is. They hate the man, but they love the man in government telling them what to do, right? And the funny thing is I argue that capitalism is the reason for why you were even able to use that off-brand ink that you said worked even better than the signature ink for you. If not for capitalism, and let's say that this was all just we were all under Big Daddy could just sit there and be like, yo, from now on, the only government regulated ink will be HP, and you will have to go to your nearest government regulated store to get that ink. And you would be screwed. So again, I a lot of times I just say miss me with that shit. Anyway, so apparently AOC had to delete this video because she was going on a rant, and apparently a lot of people were saying it was about her ex.
By a loser, I mean someone who doesn't respect women, someone who doesn't respect you, someone who doesn't treat you well, someone that doesn't support your growth as a human being. By a loser.
Can I be honest with you? What type of fucking growth does this fucking actor have to go through? How old is she? How old is AOC? How old is AOC at this point? How old is AOC at this point? She got to be like at least 23. She's 36. She's 36. Again, what type of growth does this fucking this actor, this plant have to need at 36? You decided to be who you were. You were told who to be with who you were. Let's be real here. Her accent was fake. Remember when she was sitting there talking about she came from the Bronx when we know that she lived in fucking was it Yonkers or was it White Plains? AOC has never held a child, has never been married. We went through this. Where it is? Where is it? There was a comment that I liked. There was a comment that somebody had that I like, and I think I deleted it. But it was a comment basically saying, "What people using AI is okay. That's fucking creepy." There was a comment that I like, and it was basically stating that nothing about AOC is authentic. Talking about she needs growth, which I find crazy because the guy that she was with, they were with each other or messing with each other or in that weird gray area since fucking college. And for her at 36 years old to go online and literally be trashing him like that, it's got to be rough out there. Now, don't get it twisted. I am pretty sure a lot of lefties out there, or maybe Elon Musk can fulfill the prophecy. If you guys remember the video that they had of Elon Musk, where Elon Musk, they spliced two videos together, and it's like Elon Musk and AOC talking to each other, and Elon Musk, I forgot what it was, but somebody, if you know the video I'm talking about, it's a video with Elon Musk and AOC, and he's talking and she's talking, and they end up like going out or like, I don't know, like hardcore fucking at the end of the video or something like this. It's one of the videos that you see, you're just like, what is this? Right? I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else picks her up. Why not? She's a woman. And she's in the field that she's in. There's going to be plenty of limp wrist soy boys out there that's going to pick her up, right? Or maybe some MAGA slayer tards, right? I'm not worried for her. I don't think anybody should be worried for her. I think that her putting out her business like this, any man with his grain of salt will not sit there and follow that. But who knows? Them some big-ass socialist titties. I'll catch you guys next time.